We got a big heron in here. And he saw us. I didn't think we'd be able to get that close to him. But that's a fishing bird, so but we know that the shad were in here because we snagged one last time. Well, here's our little stream. Oh, is that telling us we have 6 hours left of video? Okay, let's find a good parking spot for our phone. We're going to be fishing over here. Okay. Some little fish in here, but it's still very shallow. We know those shad are in here. Yeah, the water is getting pretty clear too, so that's less cover for the fish. See if we can hook up with something, a bass or walleye, or not seeing walleye in here right now, but maybe in the big lake. Bass or crappie or bluegill maybe. With this setup. We'll probably go fish that other side anyway. Switch poles just to make some casts, but I'm not really too confident about over there. This will make it a lot easier to fish with the bass boys though. Yeah, I'm not getting a nibble on this thing at all. I wonder what happens if we lose our Wi-Fi signal, if we just keep going or what. If we walk too far away from the phone. This water's only a foot or two at the most. Got snagged. Let's see if we can get this out. There's a big log over there. We might not get this back. I didn't see that big log over there. Shoot. Logs are tough. If you get that hook really dug in there. We'll try getting it at a different angle. Go on the other side of this log. See if we can get it to pop out of there. rest on that log good. I'm not going to get this. I think I can see my jig on the log in there. Just pulled the log. That's a big log too. I'm just pulling this log with my jig. Oh, nice. We broke it free. Must be a nice soggy waterlogged log. Let's see if our jig held up. Didn't even bend the hook. It must have just ripped out of the mushy part of the log. I'm going to grab my phone just to kind of see, just to kind of check my angle, to see what our angle should look like. Okay. So we're seeing a cross here. I mean, technically we could point it down a little more. Even like that. So when I don't know what you'd see. We'll try a couple more casts in here. Since we were able to save our jig, but we moved that log. I have to pay attention to where that's at. And there will be fish in here, especially when the water warms up, even if it's really shallow, but there'll be little ones. But they'll come in here. Cast it right by that log. Let's get around that. So maybe this weekend we'll be doing some fishing with the bass boys. Let's see. I just want to check my time here. Let's see. About 12 minutes. You get a little something back here. I'm going to move up to this other section here. Going to move up above the harder water there. Try to get this bike wedged in here so it doesn't roll in. Okay. Fish also like to hang out along this shoreline here, along these rocks here. This water is super shallow though. You just kind of bounce it off the bottom, off the rocks there, and then maybe flip it over here. This is kind of risky going, flipping it over here. Surprised we didn't get at least a little bass or something hanging out over here. Fish are really getting spoiled on minnows though. A lot of people fishing with live bait just spoils the fish, and they don't take a big interest in something artificial like this, especially if it doesn't look a lot like a fish. Not looking too promising back here though. I think we're going to shoot over to the other side of the lake. We'll have to pick up the other pole though. I think so. Not much going on in the lake here, in the stream back here. This grass is kind of wet. Hopefully we'll make it through. Ooh, that's mush. Walk out on this pipe thing a little bit. We're going to fish along this shoreline here. We haven't gotten fish here in the past, but like I said, this lake has been kind of sketchy lately. We're using a plastic worm right now, but it's just kind of windy and it got cold again, so it's not helping the water warm up at all. Could be something sitting in these weeds. Got a nice flyby from a duck there. See, there is some weed growth. So that's got to help. I like these plastic worms. I like just kind of letting them sink, sitting on the bottom for a second, and then lifting them up. Because I have fish, you know, they'll hit them when they're falling, and then they'll kind of pick them up off the bottom too, if they sit there for a minute, the fish will kind of follow it, I think. And then it just, when it lands on the bottom, it kind of just wants to pick it up sometimes. Looks like I got into a weed bed here. Yeah, the weeds are growing, so there's no reason for fish to not start biting when this water warms up a little. Still felt a little cold there. Let's go over to that corner over there. Yeah, it looks like we picked up a little mud on our two-wheeler here. Yeah, we're gonna lean our bike on this little brush here, so we can still see what kind of shot we're getting here. Yeah, it just the wind's even howling a little bit. And this water got some nice ripple to it. Let's look at my bike, make sure it's not going to fall over. When you lean it a little more, it should be good there. But I don't have too high hopes for this right now until we get some constant warm weather to warm up this water. Maybe this weekend, if it keeps warming up, this weekend could be good. We'll get in some fishing with the bass boys. Right now, I'm just not feeling it with this hard wind. Kind of cold. Probably better off with like an imitation minnow or even a spinnerbait or something, or a crankbait to kind of try and activate a fish. Because a plastic worm doesn't really do a heck of a lot to get a fish moving when it's not that warm out. You just gotta hope something's around. One bass I did get, it just kind of picked it off the bottom, and I didn't even really know it was on there. Fish just need to get a little more aggressive. Just hoping something will see this drop and pick it up off the bottom. There's not a ton of weeds for them to hide in over here, but there's some. I remember we used to get them like right in front of this tree over here. For some reason, like maybe when there's shade when the sun's on the other side. Seems to be pretty quiet. I bet you they're biting at the dam right now, though, because they don't care about that cold water. Once it gets up to the 50s or so, and the minnows come up into the below the dam there, those fish come up. I think this will be our last cast.